Now the attribution we talked about. So the attribution, we just go through and we look at who has edited this page. It's all in the JSON, what we call the journal of the JSON. So if you look here at the JSON, every page has a story, which is what shows on the page, but then it has the history of edits. And we're just cycling through here, and let's find a fork. Okay, so this is a fork, right? So this just says, oh, this was originally forked from machines.hapgood.net. So we throw that into the link resolution context, and we throw it up here into the attribution. We can also process that sitemap and display a side menu. So here we can show everything that Matt's Wiki has done in the last year or so. And we can hop over and browse some of that stuff, right? It defaults to the last week right now, but you can make that work even better, I think, right? And again, as we go, we find that different things appear here and help with the resolution. Now, some of the things don't get resolved, and those are these links here. And again, if you ever want to hop tracks at any point, you can click here and you can see the other person's version of this page. And you can also see stuff that they have written in their site, and start tracking that. And you saw how those things flashed red for a second, right, before we resolved them. That's really it. There's a couple gotchas here. First thing is note that I do use this thing called Sugar.js. You can find Sugar.js find sugarjs.com. It'll show you the API. It does what some people consider as evil, which is it extends the JavaScript prototypes. But I don't know. I find it easy to read, and it's the only thing I use that is extending the prototypes. And it has a lot of things that really help a not such a JavaScript programmer like me to do things a little more cleanly. So that's one thing. Be aware there is Sugar.js. If you look at something and you can't figure out where this function is coming from, look at Sugar.js. The other thing is we use a package called Defiant. You can look up Defiant JS or whatever it is. And what Defiant JS allows us to do is it allows us to construct XPath equations, right? So if we look at XPath equations that we can apply to JSON. So if we look at, where's a good one here? So site pages where we can create something that looks like something that looks like this. I guess you can't really see what that looks like in real. I guess you can't really see what that ends up looking like. But it's an XPath. It ends up being an XPath expression. So let's see if we can. Okay, let's console log this. Okay, you can look up XPath expressions anywhere. They've been around for a decade and a half, even more. And they're a way to query. They're generally a way to query XML, but Defiant lets you use them on JSON as well. So if we look at this and we now run this, we should get a console log message here. Okay, so you see this thing here where it says get us all, get us everything in the tree, the JSON tree that has a date greater than, this is one of those seconds since milliseconds, since 1970 dates. Get us everything in the JSON tree that has been published after that, right? And that's the sort of XPath expression you can use, so you don't have to be, looping through loop after loop. It just gives you back an array of all the objects that meet the criteria. All right, and so that's basically it. That's basically how it that's it. That's how it works. It's honestly super simple. Now, what I'd like to see is a lot of people, and there's a whole bunch of things, as you saw with our coding for the robot haiku. There's a whole bunch of things that are broken and not implemented enough. There's a whole bunch of things that are broken and not implemented. But the idea here is it's a usable set of code that you could use to build your own super cool federated wiki browser. And I hope you do. I hope someone takes this and just makes something that makes what I've done look ridiculously twee. So, yeah, twee. I said it. All right. Anyway, that's it. If you have any questions, I'm happy to help.